Dome here. His weekly package, per se, is a little bit different than a lot of these guys. So he's adjusted to these Hoosiers well and some of the rules here to be able to run this weekend.
Well, he put on a show to get in out of his last chance race. He's going to start 11th in this one. And Fuquay's a guy that has piled up a lot of wins. Yeah. And he's also piled up some nice accolades, former USRA national champion.
Yeah, and won a lot of big races over in that part of the world, too. Goes really well, Lakeside Speedway. In his home area, the former Thunder Hill Speedway, that track has been up for sale at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas.
He was going to say his name for years synonymous with Lakeside Speedway. Yeah. And the one visit I went there, he picked up the win in just dominating fashion. But
one of his very first biggest wins, the USRA National Championships here just a handful of years ago there in Kansas City.
How about Kyle Bronson starting outside of row 2? Not too shabby, first time to the Dome, and he had a fast car last night, and he was so fast, and that car was so hot that he actually set out the smoke alarms when the night was over last night, but he's going to start outside of row 2.
You know, definitely a treat to watch Kyle do that. We used to watch him race the modified so much and don't really get to anymore, so yeah, looking forward to that one.
And one thing, guys, let's not forget as well, Kyle Bronson did not hot lap that 40B, and I haven't heard maybe an exact reasoning on why, but of the top 6 drivers that were locked in, he was the only one that did not hot lap, so I don't know if he simply knew, as you mentioned, Ben, that the track conditions were going to change, or maybe there was some sort of concern there, but that may be a storyline to keep our eye on throughout this 30-lap main event.
Another guy that's pretty good in these rugged track conditions, the 10Y of Crofton, Kentucky's Trent Young in that Bob Pierce KBC Graphics car. His wife, interestingly enough, kind of dipping her toe in the promotional waters as well, put on the Hope for Harley benefit race this past year down in Kentucky, and they're moving some of that stuff up to Illinois with a big race at Fairbury and a couple others as well. So big shout out to Kelsey Young, that family all about racing, and Trent Young certainly will get everything out of that race car tonight.
Yeah, and he didn't have the year he wanted. He had a big year in 18, and this year's been a little bit of a struggle, and modified racing seems to get more and more competitive, especially through the middle part of the country. Sure. A lot of these guys you see here, and just a little bit off, you go from having a 10-win season to no wins.
Well, and obviously the fan base transfers a lot between these two classes of cars, but the technology does as well between the late models and the modifieds, and you see the crossover with some of the drivers as well. So it's kind of a natural progression how it kind of runs in cycles.
One of the guys we talked to Mike McKinney about last night as well, the driver of that 19T, Tyler Erb, and you know this well also, that Terry James owned entry, or the Terry James owned entries, man, Will Krupp this year, he ran like 70-some races, or almost 80 races this year, but really and truly, when you look back on the last couple years, that team right there has been one of the teams to beat as well in the Midwest.
And they are. They're serious about it. And Will Krupp picked up that American Ethanol Modified Championship. They raced a lot in Michigan this year, which Will told me at the PRI show was a lot different for him, but he enjoyed the challenge of getting on new racetracks. And that James team, the JHA Saddle and Tack operation, is first class, man. That is a good group of people. If you've never been to the pit area to talk to those guys, they have a lot of fun, and they're serious about what they do.
Now, they battled adversity this weekend, and they've been smiling the whole way. Yeah. So
how could you not, though, when you get to put turbo behind the wheel? Man, that guy's he's just a walking, living, breathing soundbite and a heck of a racer.
You got to have a sense of humor when you got turbo around. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. As getting the racetrack rolled in, it's kind of interesting. They sprinkled the bottom, Trenton. They sprinkled the top as well. And it's going to be interesting to see where guys go early in this one. We know one thing for sure. Odds are pretty dang good in a 30-lapper. She's going to get choppy. You want to make your moves early. Where would Trenton Berry, watching these guys, where do you think you want to make your moves out there?
Where I would want to make my moves, I would probably want to make mine right into victory lane, but I would never have the chance to get there. I would never have the chance. So whatever move I make would be the one to not get me there, so I'll just make the move right into victory lane.
I'm going to throw something out here at you guys. We've talked a lot about the drivers in that first half of the starting field, but two guys in the back half of the field that I really and truly think have an opportunity to work their way up. The first one is the second driver of the Shady Gators RV Resort number 8S, the high side tickler, Kyle Strickler. He's starting back in that 15th starting spot, and then the driver starting just 2 rows behind of him in the 96M. He was our co-host last night, rolling off 19th, the Magic Man, Mike McKinney. I really think, guys, we could see one of those two drivers come up through the field and be contending at the end of this one.
You know, I think, Dustin, it'll just come down to who can keep the body together on the race car, keep the race car underneath them. You know, there certainly will probably be a crash or two in this race. There'll be a few bent pieces of sheet metal on there, so whoever's able to keep their car all in one piece and avoid the wrecks and the calamity out there certainly has a good shot. You know, guys, my heart broke a little bit for Ray Bollinger over there in the B mains over in turn number 2. He was just really trying to hustle that car. I'm glad they were able to get it back together and get it put on the track as well.
No doubt about that. Ray Bollinger, the 2017 winner of the Arizona Sport Shirts Gateway Dirt Dirt Nationals going to roll off dead last in the 20th starting spot in this one. As these guys work this racetrack in just a little bit, and then I think we're just a couple laps away from getting this field line back up side by side, double filing, going green.
I tell you what, to show the diversity and how people love racing, you look around here, there are a ton of racing fans here to watch this final race of the night.
Everybody be sure and get a good look at the right side of Mike Harrison's car, because when the checkered flag waves, it will not look like that. There are the aggressive graphics, number 24.
Tell you what, one thing I noticed as well, if we can get maybe our turn one camera, I believe that's Steve Gigas, to give us a shot of that 22 coming down the front straightaway the next time by that Josh Harris car. That the body on that car, these guys are doing more and more things with the bodies of these race cars, Trent Berry, in terms of getting the bodies aligned, so to speak, so that they're a little more, I don't even know if aerodynamic is the right word. I'd love to get the car coming down the front straightaway and look at how that car's almost cockeyed when it comes down the front straightaway. Look at the body design on that, man.
They're wild. Oh yeah, there's nothing parallel about the
That's
front
right.
of that race car.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah, great shot.
Hey guys, the lights are out. It's time to get this thing underway. Final race of the weekend. Dustin, bring us to the green flag.
I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let Trent Berry do it. That's right. This is your wheelhouse, brother.
Hey, thanks a lot. So we'll get set to go green here for the final race of the weekend. Michael Long and Derek Losh bringing the field to green. They'll roll down the front straightaway here, side by side. Everybody hoping to make it through turns 1 and 2. Losh leads off turn 2.
Side by side behind them from second, third, fourth on back. Your leader in lap number 1, Derek Losh over Kyle Bronson and Michael Long.
And Indiana Racer leads the way. Florida's Kyle Bronson in second. Long back to third. Your pole sitter. They're shooting sparks off the wall, and Harrison breaks down the back straightaway.
Trouble for Mike Harrison in the early stages of this one, and one of the favorites to win the Gateway Dirt Nationals. Looks like he has got a problem, and Mike Harrison is not going to go back-to-back.
Boy, great there. You bring this third bozo into the booth right here. Yeah, Harrison, he's going to get this thing done tonight, right? Yeah.
Something breaking. Blake, what do you see on cart number 24? He's going to lean in and get a word with Harrison. We'll see if we get an update. Did not look like that car was under power when it pulled into the infield.
No, something seemed to happen, Blake, maybe as he came off turn number 2, like he broke something.
Yeah, I said he lost power, tried to refire down here. Car would not turn over. A tough break for the defending Gateway Dirt champion.
Wow.
He was so far ahead in the field, though. He's very lucky nobody got into him as that car slowed, because they were 2 and 3 wide all around him. And how about Derek Losh jumping to the lead, and Kyle Bronson from 4th to 2nd on the first lap.
Derek Losh is just, man, I know I've said it a lot of times, that guy's been so daggone good this year. He has had, I hesitate to say a breakout year, because Derek Losh has always been good, whether he's running Kokomo, Gas City I-69, every once in a while he might venture over to Lima Land, he might run some of them Southern Michigan tracks as well, but this is a year trend. I think Derek Losh has put his name on the map.
No, I certainly agree with that as well. I want to give a shout to, I haven't mentioned the 18L of Michael Long, your pole sitter, back a couple of spots right there, but certainly not one to sleep on. That guy's a tough, hard-nosed racer, races a lot of different places, and gets the job done on a pretty regular basis. He's certainly capable of winning this thing. Interested to see how he restarts here.
No doubt about that. Benfield going to get lined back up in the Delaware double file restart. 1 lap complete, 29 to go.
That's right, Derek Losh, your leader. Kyle Bronson 2nd, Michael Long 3rd. Harrison's out of the party. He was 4th. That moves Levi Kissinger up to 4th, and 5th is Josh Harris. As the lights are down, where will Losh go on this restart as they head off into 1 and 2? $10,000 on the line. Trenton Berry, we come back to the green flag out of turn 4.
So it'll be Derek Losh's race to start there at the head of the Delaware double file restart. The green is back out here. 29 trips to go. We're just getting this one underway. Losh leads off 2. Bronson, Long, and Kissinger, your top 4.
3 wide as they battle for 2nd, DJ, but it's Losh, your leader, and now Long back into the 2nd spot.
Michael Long threaded the needle right there. He has both Kyle Bronson and Levi Kissinger on the back straightaway, but this time on the back straightaway, Bronson goes back by. Kissinger may go back by. There's still 3 wide for the 2nd spot. Trouble though down in turn number 2.
Hey guys, if we can get a few laps in, I think we're going to have one heck of a race, because these guys are starting to throw down at the front of the pack. One thing I noticed, obviously Losh is good. Kyle Bronson has a very good race car here tonight in car number 40.
Yeah, he does too. And you talk about how the guys are throwing down up front there. They were able to run 3 wide right through that. That talks a lot about this racetrack and what's left of it here as we put this one to bed.
Blake Anderson, we now have Trenton Berry up in the booth. This is your chance to ask him for a segue for Christmas.
Trenton,
Oh, great.
I know how you can make a new friend.
Blake, You have my heart, buddy. What more do you need?
A Segway, obviously.
A Segway, obviously.
You know what? We'll try to get here to the Dome a day early next year, and we'll see if we can pick one up from back in the bowels of the place.
There's actually the entertainment factor it would provide down here.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, Blakey. Is there's part of me that actually wants to see you on one of these because I don't want to see you get hurt, but I would love for you to be cruising through the infield at some point in time and you hook one of those rocks and
Guys, here's the simplest thing. We've talked about this all weekend long. We're missing the one big key. Blake just needs to go get it sponsored to him. And it doesn't need to come from any of us three.
Okay, I'm trying to pitch it to you guys. And
Ben and I and Trenton, all three, I think I speak for all three of us, we working up with sponsors and advertisers throughout the course of the year. Blake, this is your opportunity here.
Well, how about this? I got a great idea.
Oh, boy.
It comes from all three of you. You can all three go on it. One gift, all three.
Thanks.
Boom.
Terrible idea.
We'll get back to you on that, buddy.
I've got a 3-year-old that has to have Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess it falls back on Ben and DJ.
Wow.
Chase has got to have Christmas, so I guess Ben.
Okay, look at that. Blake's mic just suddenly got muted.
Yeah, funny how that works. Clay Money out of the race, guys. He's back to the pit area. We're doubling him back up. Derek Losh, your leader. Last completed lap, Michael Long in second, Kyle Bronson in the third spot. It's Kissinger and Harris. That's your top 5. I want to remind everybody, don't forget on your way out tonight, still plenty of event t-shirts. Get those for Christmas presents. Make sure to pick those up. And all the other merchandise vendors with plenty of event t-shirts outside, so make sure to grab you one on your way out.
2 laps down, 28 laps to go. Derek Losh leads the field. Second place, Michael Long chooses inside. Third place, Kyle Bronson goes outside. We're back underway.
So they'll fire at the Sunoco restart zone, and we are racing once again here in the final event of the evening. Losh continuing to set the pace. Bronson back to third as Michael Long above that second spot. They're side by side to 3, and now almost 3 wide off turn number 4. Losh continues to lead.
Losh leads that lap, but the heat is picking up behind him as he's got Long and Bronson in tow. Long and Bronson side by side for second. Now Bronson up to second. Long back to third. 3 wide for third.
Nearly 4 wide for that second spot. There momentarily, that was Josh Harris nearly locks it up over in the corner, and the field is going to stack up behind him, and the caution flag comes out. And guys, that all started the 22 of Harrison. It wasn't his fault, man, but he almost locked it up down there in the corner, and that just bottled up the field behind of him. Trent Young, Casey Burdett, Kyle Strickler, Kyle Stephens, and Mark Anderson involved.
Every time it gets good, we get a caution.
I know. I tell you what, Derek Losh looks really good, but man, that race from second on back, that's been pretty darn entertaining so far.
Man, Harris was able to get that race car back underneath him, but just not quite in the nick of time there. Something like that on a little bit bigger racetrack, they have somewhere else to go, but here that's unfortunately what happens. You just stack them up. We've got a parking lot over on the top of 3 and 4.
It's going to take a little while to get these cars pulled apart also.
You've seen a lot of modified racing this year, Trent. I want to know we've talked about some of the races that have stuck out to us. What's 1 or 2 of the mod races you saw this year that was just really exceptional?
Oh, I think people, when you talk about that United States Modified Touring Series, I mean, that really is exceptional modified racing. We get to watch that a lot. We watch a lot of UMP races, several WISSOTA races as well. But to me, consistently, we've been going to the Deer Creek Speedway for 6 or 7, 8 years now, broadcasting the Featherlight Fall Jamboree. And that event this year was the most consistently racy that it's ever been. That thing always gets 70 to 100 cars, somewhere in that ballpark. But for them to put on the shows that they did, 3 individual shows, 3 payoffs, 5, 5, and 10, so a lot of money on the line in the modified world. That was the best that I've ever seen that racetrack over that period of time. And that event, to me, really sticks out. There were a few one-off events. I don't want to sound like a homer, but Ryan Gustin's 100th US MTS win was a pretty big deal back in August this year, too. We saw some great races at Falls. I saw a couple of awesome shows at Farmer City as well. Tri-Cities Mod Mania is an outstanding UMP dirt car event that Kevin and Tammy put on. We haven't talked about that. They do so much for dirt modified racing right here.
Track world champion in the mods is Casey Burdett in car number 44.
An event this year, guys, that drew over 100 modifieds, by the way, 103 modifieds at Portsmouth Raceway Park for their portion of the Dirt Track World Championship. That's pretty darn impressive.
Man, that's really become a great modified race. It gets a little lower billing, obviously, because because of the stature of the event, but I've certainly paid attention to that the last few years. That's a really neat deal.
It's well, and this year it was the finale for the Renegades Dirt Modified Series as well. And I don't want to sound like a homer, so I'll kind of throw it over to you, a guy that is on this side of the Mississippi. That series is, I don't want to say it's becoming the USMTS of the East, but it has become the premier modified series of the East Mid-Atlantic and that portion of the Midwest.
You know, I would say too, to kind of echo that, the Summit America Modified Series, they do a really good job as well, and they've got some great races in Illinois and beyond. But yeah, they're kind of complimentary tours right there, and certainly the Renegade's a great outfit, and that's American Modified Series is a great tour as well. We're fortunate to be able to go to a lot of those races.
All right, 4 laps down, 26 laps to go. And we're still losing debris. Someone lost a bumper down here in turn number 4.
Blake to turn 4.
Walls is on his way. He's taking. No, he's not. He's turning around now.
We've got you, Blake. How does red suit you?
I don't care. Red's just fine.
Okay.
Tiger wears red on Sundays. Works for him.
Blake will be the guy. We talked about Kyle Steffens showing up with that good-looking race car. Blake will be the guy that comes here next year with like 6 different colored body panels and a duct tape number.
He's going to be Frankenstein here next year.
That's right.
He's like that old Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time.
One piece at a time.
Or half a piece at a time. Blake's not
right.
All right, guys, the lights are out. We're finally getting this one back underway. And again, maybe get a long green flag run. Only 4 down. Derek Losh has been strong so far. Bronson is fast. So's Michael Long coming back to the green flag out of turn 4.
Going to be Losh's race to get restarted as the flames are up and we're racing once again. Losh, Bronson, and Michael Long. Your top 3. Here comes Bronson. He'll try a slide job. Think better of it. Losh will hold the lead off 2.
Down the back straight up into 3 and 4. Side by side for the lead. Losh up top. Bronson down low. Drag race back to the line. Derek Losh leads lap number 5.
Good battle up front for the lead in this one as Derek Losh tries to turn back the advances of Kyle Bronson. But man, Losh gets a monster run up on the high side of the speedway. The question is, Trent Berry, how long can he tiptoe around the top side of that 21?
Looks like it's Losh's race to lose right now. I want to focus a little bit further back to the 87 of Euclid, the 96M of Mike McKinney, and the 18 of Ledford making their way up through the field. Mike McKinney started 19th, and he's already well up through the field.
They were 3 wide back from the pack. Now Losh is going to drive away from the pack. This time out of turn number 4, 8 laps in the books, and Losh is all the way up against the concrete. As Steffens, he has got the hood up in front of his view in car number 8. He is going to slow, and that is likely going to draw the caution. As he cannot see, we'll see if he can limp it to the infield. Nope, caution will fly. As Kyle Steffens, and he will limp it in. We will be under caution with 22 laps remaining. And I tell you what, Derek Losh right now is running that top groove as masterfully as we've seen any modified driver run it all weekend.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was that's kind of surprising to see him having that kind of success out there for sure. That's certainly the spot to be for the 21 out front. He's making short work of this thing if he could just stack a few green flag laps together.
You know, I wonder, guys, we've seen that top side chop up as the races have gone on. Now, we're only 8 laps into this one, but right now it looks maybe a little bit better than it has for the last couple of events. But my question is, can Derek Losh continue to stay out front if that top side goes away?
Well, that top right now looks pretty solid. I mean, I think the problem becomes, and we saw it earlier tonight, is when nobody runs that top and when you build up a lot of fluff up in there, you drive off in there and it's like plowing through dirt. You can't get the car to turn. If they can keep it cleaned off up there, I think he is going to be tough to deal with because it's very smooth up there, at least right now.
You know, and if he has to get off of it, you know, how quickly is he able to adapt his driving style? And, you know, maybe he has to go inner low in turn 1, inner in the middle, and it's something he hasn't done. It'll be interesting to see how he's able to attack that if that happens, if he puts enough crumbs up there where that line does go away, if enough people don't keep it clean.
Well, he's an 18-time winner this year, more than 10 track titles to his credit in his career, and he was the UMP Northern Indiana champion here in 2019. He leads the way, trying to become the 4th different modified winner in 4 different years of the Arizona Sports Shirts Gateway Dirt Nationals.
How about the guy that was our co-host last night, Ben Shelton, Mike McKinney in the 96M. Trenton hit on it during the race. He started back in the 19th starting spot, and he has worked his way up into, I believe, the 8th position or the 7th position right now. That's impressive.
He is marching forward to the 96M. We'll keep an eye on him. He said he wanted this win bad, picked up the biggest win of his career earlier this year at Shady Hill, a $7,000 win. Chasing $10,000 here tonight. Trenton, the lights are out. Bring us back to the green flag.
Got to think Josh Harris has a little bit left in the tank there in fifth as well to be Losh's race to start on the low side of 3 and 4. We're underway again. 22 circuits left to settle this one.
Kyle Bronson, he hooks a run down in the corner, and that's going to open up the door. Look for Michael Long in there, and Levi Kissinger. And they caught back down in turns 3 and 4. See if the one's able to keep going. Right now they are. And it's still Derek Losh out front. Kyle Bronson second, Levi Kissinger third.
All kinds of beating and banging out of 3 and 4. Somehow, some way we stay green. Losh tiptoeing around the high side, and now Bronson's going to join him up there. We got 3 or 4 cars on the top side. Ray Bollinger slowing over in turn 3 and 4. Can he limp into the infield so that we can stay green? And Bollinger, no, will draw the caution. 10 laps complete, and Bollinger, the rear end of that race car, has given up. There are some shock and spring issues on the rear of car 77.
Tough break for Ray Bollinger. Someone also lost, looks like a wheel cover over in turn number 2. And again, I stand by what you said earlier, Ben. If we can just string together some green flag laps, it's going to be a good race. 10 down, 20 to go in this one. Losh, Bronson, Kissinger, Long, and Erb, your top 5 cars.
Isn't it crazy how quickly things could change? You know, a couple of years ago, I remember Bollinger down in victory lane celebrating a huge win, and man, he just has not had any luck. Ray, one of the good guys of this division for sure, and hate to see him having all this trouble this weekend. It's just been issue after issue after issue, and super nice guy. I always enjoy getting to talk to Ray.
Yeah, he's had some new car blues this weekend, as obviously track's been a challenge, but also some new car blues. But I have a feeling Bollinger will get it back on track in 2020. That car's going to go off on the hook. 20 laps remaining, and if you're Derek Losh, you're thankful that guys like Kyle Bronson and some guys back in the pack are jumping up top, because it's going to keep that top cleaned off and keep that cushion from building up where you want to be racing right now.
We got enough hardcore racers out there. You got to think that'll probably kind of be the trend here going through this. But you can't put everybody in the same line, right? Because it wouldn't be able to go anywhere. So it'll be something to see. I echo your guys' thoughts. Let's just settle in, put a few laps together here, and see how this thing shakes out.
Tough break for Rick Canoyer, guys, who is running inside the top 10, as it looks like he's got trouble in the 14 car. Is going to pull into the infield and out of the race.
And don't look now, but Turbo is into the top 5. Tyler Erb sits in position at number 5 in car number T19.
Behind of him, Josh Harris, 6th. Mike McKinney again from 19th to 7th. Kyle Strickler, remember Strickler was involved in that accident just a few laps ago. He's worked his way back up through the field, Trenton Berry.
Good to go.
That's right, just
Strickler,
like you
good
called
to go. Yeah, he told him, I'm ready to go.
And guys, Rick Canoyer pulled in just running way too hot, he said.
A tough break. That 14 car is awful straight, though. He hates he's going to be out of this one, but that body nice and clean on that 14 to end the weekend.
Looks good.
Pick me up a drive shaft out there as well, guys, on the racetrack.
There you go.
Well, I wonder if that came off the 77, man.
Yeah, you got to.
You say he lost power.
I got to think it did.
He was the only one that had stopped, so you got to think he's probably the one that lost it.
That process of elimination tells us that's whose it came from.
All right, guys. Well, I would love to see the final 20 laps. For many reasons, go caution-free, but if it does, I think we're going to see one heck of a race as this racetrack continues to change. Lights are down on the speedway. Indiana's Derek Losh leads Florida's Kyle Bronson. 10 in the books, 20 to go.
So it'll be launched back on the gas, flanked by Bronson and Kissinger inside and outside. Now they're trying to go 3 wide. Bronson will slide up in front of the 8K. Kissinger, Losh still your leader. Back to the 4th spot is the 18 of Michael Long.
Side by side the lead. Bronson leaves the top, goes to the bottom. Losh will keep him at bay. Another lap in the books. Don't look now, but Tyler Erb trying to take the 4th spot away from Long, and he may go after Kissinger for the 3rd position.
Good battle right there. Tyler Erb works the high side of the speedway. Mike McKinney behind him, trying to go from 19th up into the top 5. Oh, man, he was the meat in the sandwich right there. Cooler heads for Bailey, backs out of it. It's still Derek Losh, Kyle Bronson in a side-by-side battle for 3rd.
Man, Mike McKinney really had the car upset right there. Contact, we'll see how his right front and his left front. Looks like McKinney's left front is flat. Mike McKinney's left front is flat. He's knocked that off the bead. If he's able to get off the racetrack, we will see. Or if we have a caution, we're still green. Losh, your leader, off 4.
Yeah, Mike McKinney's got suspension damage. It looks like not just a flat left front, but maybe suspension damage on the right side as well. And while all that happens, Ben Shelton, Derek Losh pulling away from the field, but he grabs the wall in 3 and 4.
That cushion's starting to build up, and it sucked him in down at 3 and 4. Meanwhile, in the 2nd spot is Bronson. 3rd continues to be Kissinger. Tyler Erb
hell of a battle up front.
The top's got a lot dirtier, but Losh with a lot of momentum now. Just 8 laps to go, Trent.
We've got debris right there in turn 2 as we stay green and run right over the top of it. It'll be Bronson out front, Losh in second, the 19 of Turbo in third, Kissinger fourth, Josh Harris is fifth. Here comes Losh digging back on the top side.
Losh trying to take it back away from Bronson. Good battle for the lead as we have inside of 7 to go. And Losh pushes off a 2. Bronson holds the lead. Here comes Turbo. He brings Kissinger with him.
That is a great battle up front with the top 4 race cars. This time by just 6 laps remaining. Bronson, Losh, Kissinger, and Tyler Erb putting on a show to close out the Gateway Dirt Nationals.
Tyler Erb will take the 3rd spot. Meanwhile, Losh trying to make that top groove work. He'll diamond off the corner a little bit that time. A car length behind Bronson with just 5 laps remaining.
Boy, Turbo hard on the gas, but he just can't quite get that car settled to stack a few laps together. We've lost more sheet metal up over in turn number 2, and the caution will finally wave as we have a salvage yard over in the top of turn number 2.
Yeah, I think we had a couple pieces of plastic up there to start. And once the decking started coming off these race cars, I think that was a good idea to throw the caution.
That last piece off the 19 of Erb's car, which ultimately resulted in the caution.
Fred G. Sanford is going to be having an arm wrestle with Blake Anderson for all that sheet metal up there in turn 2. And man, I tell you what, Kyle Bronson driving a good race. Losh is going to have another chance at that top. When it went away in a hurry. It got crazy rough. And right now, Kyle Bronson leads the way first time to the Dome, and the Florida driver's trying to pick up $10,000, 5 laps away from achieving that goal.
What are the odds that we see at least one more caution in this race?
I hope not. I hope they're slim.
You hope not,
But yeah.
we know there's $10,000 on the line.
We'll see, boy. When Bronson got in the lead there, he asserted himself as the dominant car, so probably a lot comes down to the restart.
All right, single file restart. Here we go. 25 laps complete, 5 laps remaining. Kyle Bronson brings him back to the green.
So they'll roll off turn number 4. Bronson, Losh, Kissinger, Josh Harris, and Tyler Erb, your top 5.
Losh with a big run off the top of 2. Dustin, hang on, Tyler.
No.
Tyler Erb hit the wall 4 times. He is still in the gas, and now he's going to be out of the gas as Tyler Erb hammering the backstretch wall.
Tyler Erb fought the wall, and the wall won.
He's got a flat left rear. He's got a torn up nose, left rear quarter panel. He lost the fuel cover a little bit ago.
What's not damaged on the car?
Flat right rear we can see as well. Great shot right there. So he's knocked both rear tires down. I'd say Turbo got his money's worth.
He certainly did. He's going to drive the wheels off of it, and he literally about drove the wheels off of that 19T, and he's got his helmet off. He said he came here to either win a race or sell T-shirts. I think he's going to sell some T-shirts, and Blakey's down there with you.
He is. Tyler climbing out of the car. And Tyler, you told us before the race if you can't win, you're going to sell some T-shirts. Well, I think you probably sold some T-shirts. You put on a show out there. I can't hear nothing, but I just kind of got wallered out there by the 22, and it is what it is. See you next year. Tyler back next year for more. Couldn't hear us, but I'd like to think he sold some T-shirts, guys.
What about it? Let him know you appreciate him, Dome. Tyler Erb.
And he's hands-on with Eric Walls helping get the tow truck hooked up.
He's like Blake. He does it all. He drives them. He puts them on the wrecker.
And he wants a Segway for Christmas.
I made mention of this at some point here during the weekend. I don't exactly remember. The days all kind of run together, to be quite honest, at this point. But that 19 car, Mike McKinney's first elite chassis that he had raced. So that car's been around a little bit. It's had some success. So that is the car that Turbo was behind the wheel of here this evening.
What's left of it?
What's left of it. Mike McKinney's back down there. We really should go get his opinion on the race from Blake right there. He's hanging out right at on the back deck of his race car.
He's had a pretty frustrating weekend. It could be interesting.
There he is. There he is. What is he running for office? What, maybe local county commissioner?
Hey, if Mike runs, Mike, if you run right now, you can actually get up here to the booth and call the last 4 laps of this race with us.
Here comes Blake, Mike. He's on your driver's side.
He's sneaky like that.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hi, Mike.
Oh, we're great. That was some of the most fun I've ever had, man. We were fucking fast, man. We were coming to the front and just got into the 3 wide scenario, knocked the front night out of it, and just about to watch a hell of a last couple laps here.
They said if you run up there, you could probably call the last couple laps.
Do we got time?
I mean,
right here.
You want me to just go ahead and I'll take your race car. I've been working on getting one all week, and you can take my job. Even trade?
I'm down, man. We had a shitty start to the week, and I made the best of it. I hope I put on a good show for all you guys.
Mike McKinney, everybody, did a fantastic job up in the booth last
Blake
night.
Anderson trying to slide in there.
I'm trying, guys.
As we're here at the Rated R Nationals apparently this weekend. I mean, it's
Listen, I appreciate the hustle from Blake there on that last-ditch effort to get a car before Christmas.
That's right.
that was a smooth move too.
Oh, yeah.
He would have traded him straight up for a Segway, I bet you, Blake. So
I probably would have done it.
So Kyle Bronson, your leader. Bronson, a week ago tonight, he wins at East Bay Raceway Park in the Dalton Myers Memorial. That was his 10th win of the year. And Kyle Bronson, the first half of the season, not so much for that driver. Not a great start, but he really turned it up the second half. Picked up some big wins with the Lucas Oil Series. Won with during the Summer Nationals after battling Tyler Erb. And we're getting set to go back green. Hopefully not with that Easy Go golf cart on the track. No, it's going to head back into the infield. Dustin, we're green.
26 laps down, 4 laps remaining. Kyle Bronson going to try to hang on. Derek Losh going to try to get that high side working again. Trent Berry, 4 laps to go. Losh up on the high side.
Boy, Losh committed that top side trouble over in turns 1 and 2. Josh Harris around Casey Burnett. Everybody stays green. There we go. So we'll pick them up at the line. The 40 of Bronson leads.
Losh shoved all the way through 3 and 4, and that'll out Brian's going to shove in 1 and 2. Ledford trying to get to the infield. They're going to come back to 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go.
2 laps remaining in this one. Kyle Bronson looking for a $10,000 payday. Derek Losh second, and a pair of 8s back there battling for that third spot. It's Levi Kistner in the 8K and Kyle Strickler in the 8S. But this time by Trenton Berry, bring us home. Losh is there.
All right, guys, the final lap of the Dome here for 2019. It's Losh on the outside. He'll pull up to the rear of the 40 of Bronson down the back straightaway here for the final time. Checkers come out for the modifieds off 4. It's going to be a photo finish. Losh gets it at the line.
Sure, why not? Why not, Trent Berry? How about that?
Oh, baby.
What a way to end the weekend. Rensselaer, Indiana's Derek Losh picks up his 19th win of the year. Final lap, final corner. He takes the win.
Yes, sir.
The Superior Sales and Services, Toro Mowers, KBC Graphics, Rensselaer Iron and Metal Company, Talbert Manufacturing, Rocket XR1 by Ruhlman, Mullins Racing Engine 21, and what better way to end the weekend? We had a near photo finish in the late models and the mods here tonight.
Yes, sir. What about that Dome? Holy cow. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Derek Losh with a last turn, last lap pass is your 2019 Arizona Sport Shirts Gateway Dirt Nationals champion. It just doesn't get any better than that. What about it back straight away? Losh, 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 Losh. Here it is again on the FK Rod Ends instant replay, the final lap.
Well, they both hit a lot of ruts on the final lap. We know that. And then I thought Losh was done right there.
I did too. I thought he lost all his speed.
And to his credit, he could have punted Bronson there, and he didn't.
Turned back down the hill, and oh no, said Bronson.
You know, and Bronson, if he was just able to keep the car straight right there off 4, that was certainly his race to lose. And whatever he hit there didn't agree with
Guys,
the race car.
4 years, 4 different winners in the mod.
That's awesome.
Tommy Seats Jr., Ray Bollinger, Mike Harrison, and tonight, Derek Losh, the Indiana racer, gets it done. He's going to head down to Sunoco Race Fuels Victory Lane and get a word with Blake. And Blake, what a way to wrap up this weekend. Take it away.
No kidding. What a finish there. Derek Losh taking the money home to the Hoosier State. It's Mullen. Race Engines, Rocket Chassis rolls into Victory Lane. He has his Racing Electronics earbuds out, the helmet's off. Hans' device goes out, climbing out of the car. He can hear you. Make some noise for Derek Losh. Crew down here celebrating this huge win that, boy, talk about a tumultuous final lap. Dalton Bishop, one of the crew guys down here celebrating. And we'll get Derek into Sunoco Racing Fuels Victory Lane. He gets his Arizona Sport Shirts hat on. And the trophy makes its way as the family celebrates. He's kind of soaking it in right now, just letting her breathe. A big win. Here he comes. Derek, the final lap. You're rolling into turn number 3. Did you think you had any shot at sitting right here with, say, 150 yards left in this race?
No, I had about used up this race car on the top and myself, so definitely those last few cautions saved us. I seen some steam blowing out of his radiator there at the end, and I knew if I stuck with him, he was probably trying to limp it to the end, so I tried to get to his back bumper, fake him out on the top, and then I knew he was going to try to shut me off up there, so he was able to get back to the bottom and get past him coming to the line.
Is that one of those deals where it's like a shark in bloody water when you start to smell the blood there?
Well, I mean, at that point, we didn't have anything to lose, so it was an easy decision for me, but he did the right thing. I'd have done the same thing if I was leading.
Well, congratulations on a huge win. You certainly capped off the Arizona Sports Shirts Gateway Dirt Nationals presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts with an exclamation point.
Man, this place takes so much adversity for our team. You know, this is a hobby for us. We're not professional racers, so to put a car together and come compete at this level with these guys, you know, hat goes off to the crew back here. These 4 guys worked their butt off all weekend, and my girlfriend, and thanks to all our friends and family that came out to support us this weekend.
Well, you are a Gateway Dirt Nationals champion. Congratulations, Derek.
Feels great. Thank you.
He's got the trophy of the Arch. Make some noise for Derek Losh, your Gateway Dirt Nationals champion. And guys, talk about a way to cap off a wonderful event.
Absolute. Great job all weekend, Blake. Best of luck to you down under in Australia. Very proud for you going down there to work with the sprint cars in the next month. And, man, travel safe, and we can't wait to work together again.
Well, thank you, guys. I think I've said it many times how much I truly enjoy working with you, Ben, DJ, and Trenton. You guys are a blast to work with. This is truly one of my favorite events I get to work with just because of working with you guys.
Love you, brother, no doubt. Trenton Berry coming up here and joining us for this last race. As always, man, phenomenal job, not just here, but you go out there, you find the stories in the crowd, you talk to the people, and this event would not be the same without you, Trenton. Thank you for everything you do.
Man, I appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunities to work with you guys and